great, especially when I'm a teenager to watch those. But I know a lot of times when I want to run, I don't want to get out of bed, Boo. You know, it's 5:30 and I just don't want to get out of bed. Why do I get up? Because I know Boo is waiting for me over there at Library Park. If I don't get up, I'm going to stand him up. So having a training buddy, having a friend really helps me out. It gets me out of bed in the morning. And this may sound silly, but there was actually, I watched this movie again with my son recently, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I've always thought of it as a silly movie, and it is. But it's funny, you know, Ferris saying life is pretty fast. You don't stop and look around for a minute, you might miss it. Well, as I watched this movie again for the 20th time, but I watched it with my son for the first time, all of a sudden I realized, you know what this whole movie is about? Ferris Bueller has a friend. His friend Cameron. Remember his friend Cameron in the movie? What's the whole day about? You find this out at the end of the movie. I've never noticed this before. Ferris went out of his way for a whole day, including risking, you know, getting expelled by the principal, or Mr. Moody. The whole point of that day was to help his friend Cameron because he knew Cameron was having a hard time. Go watch the movie again. John Hughes, you know, he was a genius in that way. Hilarious movie in my opinion, but the whole point of that movie was Ferris was helping his friend. If you have good friends, it really will enable some happiness in your life. And that gets us very close, dangerously close to the core of my last happiness tip. And I'll finish with that quickly. And that is, and this has nothing to do with racing really. Real satisfaction in life, it comes from helping others and serving others. There's really not a racing analogy, and it's really appropriate that this would probably be the last and maybe the best tip that I can give you on this day, this Good Friday. Because if you finish a marathon, you feel great. Finish a triathlon, an Ironman triathlon, there's a huge buzz that goes with that. It lasts for a day, a week, 2 weeks. Best case, it lasts for a month. It's great, but it doesn't last forever. What really lasts? Okay, I'm back to the big questions again. And I think I'm just going to say that this is my belief that real happiness only comes when you're serving others. That's where true happiness comes from. Who do you serve? You serve your loved ones. Start with your family, your friends, your neighbors, your community, and maybe even beyond that. Who said this? It's very appropriate on Good Friday. You're going to recognize this. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Jesus. And of course, on Good Friday, he did it. So, you want to be happy, or at least you want to pursue happiness? And follow all the 9 tips, but the one that you probably absolutely positively need is this last one. Here's another quote. By tradition anyway, James was Jesus' half-brother. And he said in the book of James, pure religion and undefiled before God the Father is this, to visit the fatherless and the widows in their affliction. So, expend your energies. Remember what TR said at the Sorbonne? Expend your energies in a worthy cause. What could be more worthy than another human being? A family member, a friend, someone in your community, anyone in need. That, I think, is going to give you real satisfaction. Because that little moment of happiness that you get at the end of a race, maybe you feel a little buzz after you get a promotion at work, or you go on a great trip, you go to Rome or Italy, you see a great place, but there's a certain amount of happiness there. But real happiness, maybe so bold, is not quite that. It's a kind of contentment. It's a peace deep in your soul that's entirely independent of circumstances. A satisfaction that you've added to the life of another, or to many others maybe. I was just thinking, you think Mother Teresa was happy? You think she was a happy person? I guarantee you she was. She spent her whole life helping people. It's kind of a happiness far beyond and of a completely different character from that buzz you get when you cross the finish line of an Ironman. So if you really want happiness, serve your family, serve your friends, and serve your community. But run the marathon too. Thank you.
Having run 8 marathons myself, you know, the human body is only conditioned to run